Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 14 of Swiss Army Sports. Today is October 15th in the Big 25. I'm your host, Will Spain, former long snapper for the Troy Trojans, Osby Governors, and somewhat Houston Cougars, joined by my side, Luke Wallman. We're both representing colleges that we went to for less than a year. Let's go. I'm wearing the Houston blue, and he's wearing Hendrix College. There we go. Let's just jump right into today's agenda. Obviously, today is Wednesday, so it's a college football NFL picks and preview episode. Sorry, stuff happens. We did not record on the weekend for you guys. We had some stuff come up. We have lives too. Obviously, y'all are very important to us, those who do listen. But, stuff happens. We are back, though, and we plan on being on schedule from here on out until something else happens. Weekend picks and preview. Breakout players for weekend. Best bets for college football and NFL, along with that Week 7 NFL slate preview. Who to pick up on the wire? MLB playoffs are down to the nitty-gritty. UFC Fight Night in Vancouver. Kind of the weakest card of the month of October, but nonetheless, we have some good fights on there. NHL weekend preview and who's hot and who's not. I'm pretty sure we have some good odds this weekend, so stay tuned for that one. Well, let's get right into it. As I saw earlier, we're pretty chalk.
Yeah. No, a few of these picks I did only change because, I cannot roll with the same pick as everyone else.
It just doesn't work that way. Whenever we go chalk, we get hoed.
I know. So I have to flip a few of them up.
Starting off, the Utah Utes, ranked number 23 in the country, sitting at 5-1, 2-1 in the Big 12. It's a huge game for the Big 12. It's also a big game for religion. It's the Holy War. We got the Normies versus the Mormons as they head to Provo, Utah, and face the BYU Cougars at 7 p.m. on Fox. In my opinion, although there are definitely more exciting games I'm excited to watch, I think it's the game of the weekend.
Oh, for sure. Classic rivalry. I mean, it's going to be electric in Provo. It's on Fox, too. I'm excited to watch it.
I'm excited to watch it, too. I'm sure I'll be watching at your place.
Yeah,
so,
probably.
Look.
Already be 12 deep.
Dampier. We talked about him earlier in the year.
Yeah.
He kind of got back. So everybody thought Sam Levitt being out was going to hinder Arizona State. Yeah, they only scored 17, probably because of that. Let's not get after the fact that Utah scored 42 on this Arizona State defense. Yeah. Dampier's back. I knew BYU was going to drop a game this year. They're not going to go undefeated.
Yeah.
Let's look at their schedule. And I did this earlier. You've got Utah, Iowa State, Texas Tech, TCU, Cincinnati, and UCF. Do you think BYU is a 10-2 team?
I think they will drop, obviously, to Texas Tech, and I think because they're going to Cincinnati, they will drop. So, but yes, I do think they beat Utah this weekend. Iowa State, we've obviously been longtime haters on this podcast. They easily handled them, and same with UCF. And then TCU, they looked awful last week. I cannot believe they lost to Kansas State.
Yeah.
So I easily see 10.
Kansas State low-key back, though.
Yeah, I know, but still, you don't lose that game if you're TCU.
That's my point. I think BYU's a 9-3 team because they're losing to the Utah Utes, the good people that drink beer at football games, not Coca-Cola. Give me Utah and the Holy War to walk into BYU and beat the Storm and Mormons. The producer agrees with you on BYU. Why does BYU win this game? I'm going to say I think Utah simply just outscores them. I think it's a shootout. It's going to be a very fun game.
No, I completely agree. I think Bear Bockenheimer.
I think he makes a mistake.
I think he's going to have a show-out game because he's made mistakes when they play Colorado at Colorado. You're at home. It's the Holy War. I'm going with the soaking Mormons to win this game outright just because they're at home.
Fair enough. I lied. This is the game I'm most excited for. This game embodies our podcast. We are hungry for Vanderbilt greatness. And this is where they establish it this week. We are across the board Vanderbilt. And I'm going to tell you why I think Vandy. I'll let you go. Yeah. But me, Luke, and the producer, all on Vandy against LSU as they host them. The Tigers, number 10 in the country, are heading to Vanderbilt. Look, I think Diego Pavia, coming off a bye week, is going to have an incredible bounce back performance against LSU. I think this LSU offense is horrible. Horrible. Defense is good. But I think Vanderbilt has a prolific spread option offense that's going to be able to score points. And not to mention, not only is LSU's offense not good, LSU is facing one of the best defenses in the SEC this week. I think Vanderbilt's going to get a lot of pressure up front. They're going to force Nussmeier to make throws. I think they're going to establish stopping the run. Look, I'm looking at it right now. LSU's leading rusher only has 283 yards. Diego Pavia has 70 more yards than LSU's running back.
That's absurd.
Vandy by 10 plus. I don't even think the cover's not even in question. Give me the doors. Luke, why is Vandy winning?
I think this LSU team is fraudulent because of their offense. And I think we spoke on this earlier when I picked Ole Miss to beat them. And all y'all were like, oh.
It was too early. It's too early to tell.
But I've not been a Nussmeier believer. I don't think he was that good last year. He does what he did last year. He turns the ball over way too much. So I just don't see a world. I think he's going to make too many mistakes, and I think this Vandy defensive line, like you said, is going to dominate. And I think Pavia, there's no way he can have back in. So I got Vandy winning, like you said, Vandy big.
All right, Vandy big. I agree wholeheartedly. They're definitely going to sell this game, too. So it should be an electric atmosphere, which I love for Vandy. They deserve it. They've been through some hard times, guys.
Yeah.
The Ole Miss Rebels are heading to Athens, Georgia. And Luke, who's that walking down the track? It's the Mean Machine in red and black. Go Dogs. Go Dogs. Go Dogs. Sick 'em. Georgia's defense is going to confuse the hell out of Trinidad Chambliss. Auburn should have won that football game. I think Georgia knows that. I think they're going to come in a little bit hungrier. I think Chambliss, those 2 picks, this is the biggest stage he's ever played on. They looked awful against Washington State. They could have easily have lost to a team that lost by 49 to North Texas. You're going into Athens for this game? Give me Georgia. Yeah. Stockton? Not great. Doesn't matter. Ole Miss's defense is terrible. Georgia Dogs by 14 plus. Luke. Oh, and the producer has a brain. He agrees with me. Luke, why is Ole Miss going? They're going into Athens winning this game. Why?
So I want to say this before I get into this too.
I know you flipped your pick.
I did, because when I looked across the board, me and the producer had the same pick.
Can't have that.
So I chose the 2 games that I thought would most likely flip, and it was this and UNLV. I think that now last week, or just put it, that did not happen. That was not happening. That Ole Miss did not play Washington State. They didn't even play a team. It didn't happen. It's wiped from my memory. I think that Georgia's defense this year is not very good. I don't think they're very good, and I'm not bought in on Stockton. And I can easily see Ole Miss coming in here and doing what they did with LSU, just holding them low scoring and just scoring enough to get by. I just don't think this Georgia offense is good, and I really don't think the defense is good comparable to like years past. So I think this is a weak Georgia team against one of the stronger Ole Miss teams.
So you have a good point. I originally thought about Ole Miss in this game, even though I'm a hater. And then I was like, all right. LSU's defense, yes, is better than Georgia's defense by far. And that game was like, LSU lost by like, what, 4?
Yeah, it was 4-7. Something like that.
It was under a touchdown, I know that. But I was like, Georgia's offense, while not like an elite Georgia offense, is twice as good. 5. Okay. They're twice as good as LSU's offense. You're at home. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. I just think Georgia pulls it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a coin flip game, honestly, because we know Ole Miss we don't know what's going on from last week, and then Georgia's a weaker Georgia team than Georgia really should be. So Should be a good game, though.
Our next matchup is in SEC Playoff Eliminator. This is a big game for both these programs, both these head coaches, both trajectories. Billy Napier is fighting for his life as he as his Florida Gators host the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. And shockingly, we win state across the board. Here's why. I think we got a taste of what Florida could be against Texas. And then Florida that we've been seeing went back out and played Texas A&M. Mississippi State coming off a bye week. They've had time to prepare for this Florida team. You know Florida's just looking at State this week because they definitely were all over A&M. State's got a good offense, and they've shown that. And they didn't have a good week against Texas A&M. I think they bounce back this week. I think State's defense keeps Lagway at bay. Lagway throws a pick or two because he's, going to do that no matter who he's playing. Give me the Dogs. It's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close game. The only thing I'm worried about is going to the Swamp. It's not at night, though. So, give me the Dogs.
Yeah, the only thing I'm
Shaping 3+ touchdowns.
thing I worry about this game is, as we've seen in the past, when Billy Napier is fighting for his job, they somehow win games. I think his luck finally runs out here, though, because I just think Lagway, like you said, is going to throw way too many interceptions. And I don't think the Swamp will be like packed because of the down year and everyone's like kind of wanting Napier gone. So it won't be like an electric Swamp like, say, first week this year or whatever when they're ranked. I think this is going to be a very, I won't say comfortable, but it's not going to be uncomfortable for State. And I think State can go in there and squeak out a win. Very close game, though.
State across the board. Our next game is huge for the G5 playoff conversation. 6-0 UNLV is heading to 4-2 Boise State on the blue turf, the Smurf turf. Me and the producer agree. Look, you know how we feel about UNLV. They really haven't sold me on literally anything. This game's at 2:30, which is like 1:30 Mountain Time. During the day, which I don't like. Wish this was a night game.
Yeah.
Look, Boise State still has Madsen at quarterback. He's going to tear apart this UNLV defense. Boise's defense is good enough to keep him at bay. There's a reason the spread's 12.5. Boise's not losing this game. Do they cover? I don't know. UNLV has found a way to win the games. I just don't think they're going to sweep this one out. Give me Boise State at home on Fox Sports 1 to win, and I'm going to go ahead and say, and cover. Luke, you went with the running Rebels.
So I do have Boise State winning the Mountain West, and honestly, I just don't see them beating UNLV. I think UNLV just steals one here, and then Boise gets them back in the championship. That's the only reason I went with UNLV. I mean, as we have seen, they have found a way to win. Granted, it's been very ugly, but I think Dan Mullen will get the boys rolling, head into Boise for a big-time Mountain West matchup and get it done.
Fair enough. I doubt that goes 7-0, though. I think UNLV exits play conversation here. Tennessee is heading to Bryant-Denny Stadium for the third Saturday in October. And I don't think this game is even close.
Yeah.
You're heading to Bama. It's at 6:30. It's at night. Bama's completely revitalized. They're 5-1. Tennessee barely won last year. Bama's got a salty taste in their mouth. Like, pause. Yeah, Bama's winning this football game, dude. And they're winning by like 20+. Aguilar is about to crap his pants. He's played well this year. Really has. Completely underestimated in the beginning of the year. This Bama team looks brand new. I think Missouri's legit. And for Bama to go into Missouri and get that win was big for them. I hate Bama. I hate Tennessee more, though. So we're Bama across the board here. Why does Bama get this done? And I think we all know it's Ty Simpson.
Yeah, no, it's Ty Simpson. He's immersed himself in the Heisman race. I honestly think if this was at Tennessee, I might be picking the Vols. But since it's at Bama, I think Bama easily wins. Another thing, I think this is kind of a shootout because I don't think this Bama defense is like all that. It's a solid defense, don't get me wrong, but it's not like they're not the Bama defenses with Saban or nothing like that. This is the DeBoer Washington style of defense. So I think this is kind of a shootout, and I think Aguilar throws a pick. Simpson does not, as we've seen in the past, outside of that fumble last week, does not turn the football over. And I think he keeps that going and keeps his Heisman race alive.
Our final game, the USC Trojans are heading to South Bend, Indiana to fight on against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We got Notre Dame across the board. I originally picked USC in this game. I just think the home atmosphere for Notre Dame, they have to win this game to even have a hope at getting the playoff. All doubt for me for Notre Dame was a race last week when they covered against NC State. I think NC State's a quality team. They beat them 36-7 handily. They handily won that game. Blew them out. USC has looked better, dominated Michigan at home, but you're going on the road here. Going back 2 time zones. Probably going to be a little bit. Let's look at the weather here.
While you're looking up the weather.
65 degrees and raining. Yeah.
Oh.
Give me the Fighting Irish. Way better on the ground.
Yeah.
Love Notre Dame here.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way. I think the Catholics, they're going to be fighting for their life right here because they don't play another game that's like.
And also, when's the last time Notre Dame lost to SC?
I honestly do not remember.
Exactly.
Like, it's been a while. All right, anyways.
It's been a while.
Anyways, I mean, this is going to be like Notre Dame's like Super Bowl basically because they have to win this game to go to the playoff. USC still has, I think they have 2 losses, right, or 1 loss.
USC only has 1 loss.
Yeah, so they still have a little bit of room, I guess, to kind of
They do
sneak into the playoff. And wacky stuff could go on with the Big Ten, so they still have some room. Notre Dame, this is live.
This is
die. That you either submit yourself. They need to win this by like 20 plus to at least try and submit themselves to get into this playoff, and that's why I like Notre Dame this week.
There we go. Who's going to pop off in week 8? Well, you're kind of going against my pick here, but I'm going to talk to you about Georgia linebacker C.J. Allen. Okay, he's going against Ole Miss. Patrick Kudus has been very good for Ole Miss offensive line, but that's about it. There's a reason why he's been the offensive line of the player of the week, Ole Miss over and over again. He's basically their offensive line. 24 tackles, solo, by the way. 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. He's a junior, 6'1", 235. He is going to be a difference maker in this game. He is going to put the pressure on Trinidad Chambliss. And I believe, and last time I called a stat out on my defensive player of the week, I was correct, by the way. That Tulsa corner got an interception. C.J. Allen will have a sack in this game. And I'm going to go ahead and say I think he forces a fumble on Trinidad Chambliss that changes this football game. Who's going to pop off in week 8? Georgia linebacker, C.J. Allen. Luke, tell me about yours.
So I got freshman quarterback Bear Bachmeier. I'm probably butchering
Bachmeier.
Bachmeier, excuse me. I honestly, his arm, not like overly impressive, but I think where he causes havoc Saturday is going to be with his legs. I think he's going to be able to escape the pocket. We saw it happen. He carried them down that He carried that BYU team against Colorado on the ground in that final drive to lead them to go up, I think, 10 points.
Yep.
And I just think that his legs are going to be a massive factor, and I think he has his breakout freshman game in the Holy War.
In the Holy War. Love the fact that he wears 47, by the way.
No, that's electric.
It's electric. Our best bets for week 8 of college football. I'm going to kick us off. And I think the line dropped to 20.5, to be honest with you. But I like it at 21.5, too. Memphis wins the game by 30 plus. UAB's terrible. This Memphis team is not looking, ahead to USF.
Yeah.
They are not. Whether you may think they are or not, they are not. They are prepping for UAB, and they're going to cover this line. I hope. It's a whale play, guys. Come on. I hate the Tigers. If I'm telling you to take the Tigers, that means UAB is that bad. Yeah. They just fired Trent Dilfer. That may benefit them a little bit, honestly. But Trent Dilfer's staff also sucks.
And their quarterback's like a pedophile.
He is a pedophile. Fade the pedo. Fade him. 21.5, dude. Memphis wins this game by 35. Yeah. A whale play. So, a little tidbit about this. USF and FAU is a rivalry game.
Yeah.
Last year, now it's a different head coach for FAU. The head coach has got a little bit of a post-game scuffle after USF handily beat FAU. it was like Golish was pissed.
Well, I think there's a little backstory. I think 2 years ago, the FAU coach tried to run it up on them.
Yes, they did.
So it's a little inside.
Golish knows he wants to hang a number the week before Memphis. And he will. You've seen y'all saw what they did in North Texas. If they went on the road, by the way, they're at home for this game. If they went on the road and hung 63 on North Texas, they're going to hang 70 on Florida Atlantic. Give me USF and a whale play at minus 21.5. Love Oklahoma, minus 5.5. Big bounce back week against South Carolina. Texas Tech, minus 7.5. By the way, I would have taken this at 12.5. The fact that it's fallen to 7.5, Vegas is. They're begging you. They're begging you. Please, make some money. Make some money.
They know something, though. That scares me. It scares me.
Doesn't scare me. Texas Tech is a wagon. They're a wagon. Minus 7.5. Lock it in against Arizona State. In Vandy. Minus 2.5 against LSU. Give me the doors. If they're going to win, they're going to win by at least 3, baby. Commodores, minus 2.5. Luke, talk to me about your best bets.
So I got Cincinnati by 21.5. Oklahoma State's a dumpster fire. I think, honestly, if it's a somewhat good to really good Big 12 team that's playing Oklahoma State, no matter where they're playing, take them because I think they can easily cover this. And then, obviously, taking BYU +3. I mean, anything can happen in a rivalry. That's why I'm not maybe as confident in the money line. But I think it's a close game either way. So I love BYU +3. This worries me a little bit. But Cal is playing North Carolina. North Carolina has to fly out.
Oh, yeah, that's a good play.
So
it's a good play.
I think the travel is going to be a huge difference maker here. And North Carolina just sucks.
They're so bad.
Cal's got a good quarterback, the freshman. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. I'm going to butcher it. But he's a 5-star freshman. He's a good quarterback. And I think they absolutely torch Carolina. As you already touched on, Texas Tech, I don't see how it's this slow. I really don't. And then Georgia Tech are road dogs. I think Hayes King.
This game scares me.
It does too, but I think Hayes King, this is kind of not full heart play, but it's a side heart play because I'm in love with Georgia Tech. I was in love with them before the year. I think Hayes King is going to will this team to victory. It might be ugly, but I think Georgia Tech wants it to be ugly. So I like Georgia Tech here to win the game.
I can't disagree with you. I think they win. I said I was going to not play it. Totally going to play it. But those are our best bets for Week 8. I have Memphis minus 21.5 against UAB. Two bad teams there. USF minus 1.5 against Florida Atlantic, the other bad team. Oklahoma minus 5.5 against South Carolina. Texas Tech minus 7.5 against Arizona State. And Vandy minus 2.5 against LSU.
I've got Cincinnati minus 21.5 versus Oklahoma State. BYU +3 in the Holy War versus Utah. Cal minus 10 against UNC. Texas Tech minus 7.5 versus Arizona State. And then Georgia Tech money line versus Duke.
Thing to the pros. Week 7 NFL predictions.
We finally updated the week
Yes,
thing.
I updated the header. You're welcome. If you notice, probably from last time you looked at it, I've changed a couple things. On Thursday Night Football, though, we are riding together here. The producer took Joe Flacco and the Bengals at home. I flirted with it. However, I think the Steelers' defense has completely woken up since that Week 1 fiasco against the Jets. Do I trust Aaron Rodgers? No. But I think they have enough with DK Metcalf on the outside to torch this awful Bengals defense and get a Thursday Night Football win. Luke?
I trust Aaron Rodgers. I said it before the year. I'm still riding with my pick. The Steelers were going to – I think I had them going 11-6 or
You did.
12-5, and y'all called me crazy. It's looking a little easier, though, because of the injuries in this division. But
yeah, who knew the Ravens would be 1-5?
Oh, I know.
1-6, yeah.
But I love Rodgers. I think he still can spin a really good football. Now, there's a few times where he makes questionable throws, but, like, you have DK Metcalf, you have Pat Freiermuth, and I like Calvin Austin. He's a speedster. I mean, obviously, Memphis alum, but I think he's a good deep threat. He's hit him a bunch this year. I think that they easily win this game.
London hosts another morning football game on Sunday as the LA Rams head to London's team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are all across the board LA. I think this magical run for Jacksonville ends here. I think the Rams are going to be able to have their way with that Jacksonville defense, have enough protection up front to keep the sacks from coming in. Love the Rams here. I believe Puka Nacua is going to be healthy enough to play. I know he missed a practice, but he did come back in that game after he rolled that ankle. Give me the Rams, even if Puka does not play. They have too many offensive weapons.
I think this is just a little closer because I do think the travel for LA is going to be just
Awful.
just a tad worse. than
Well,
Jacksonville.
actually, they have little side note, it's not a factor. They have been staying in Baltimore.
Uh-oh.
They beat the Rams. They are practicing at Camden Yard,
Okay.
Orioles Stadium. Yeah. So it's not as bad as it flies you think.
Okay, never mind. I still think this Jacksonville team is a solid.
They're good.
football
They're a solid team.
So I think I don't have enough confidence though for them to beat the Rams. I think they hang around. Maybe I think the Rams cover the 3, but I think it's not like a blowout by any means.
No, I agree. I
So,
agree.
I like the Rams to get it done on Sunday morning.
Noon kickoffs. The Philadelphia Eagles head to the Minnesota Vikings. My heart said Minnesota here, but my brain says, yeah, Philly's going to get this one back. Minnesota hadn't looked great. Do I think Minnesota can win? Yeah, dude. I think Minnesota's a good team, no matter who's at quarterback. I think Carson Wentz is good. I think J.J. McCarthy will have enough on the run game with Mason. You've got too many weapons on the outside. Yeah, I just think the Eagles find a way to win this game. That's it. That's my analysis. I think the Eagles find a way to win this game.
That's a good
The producer
analysis.
agrees.
And this is me a little bit of hating, but
I would love it if
honestly,
the Vikings win. Are you kidding me?
if you're
Skull.
if you're telling me that the Giants can beat you, buddy, in the NFL,
I think it's just a bounce back.
like I don't care. And like that secondary for the Philly, looked very questionable last week. I think the whole defense looked questionable. And like you said, Vikings have a lot of weapons. And another stat I'm going to throw out there: home teams win in the NFL like 65% of the time. So I'm going to roll. And we always have a weird game. There's always one week.
I think it's a weird game. Minnesota could very well win this game.
No, I'm just telling you, where like everyone's expected Philly to win, and then the Vikings go out and shock. That's what I mean by weird. So I'm going to go with the Vikings.
The New Orleans Saints head to Chicago and play the Bears. We are across the board of the Bears here. Look, I looked at the weather. It's going to be like 50 degrees and raining. It's going to be sloppy football. DeAndre Swift's going to run for 150 yards. I think they torch the Saints on the ground and get like a 10-point win.
And I want to say this. Have you seen Saints Twitter?
No.
So apparently they're all calling for Rattler to be benched.
I think Rattler's the whole reason their offense looks good.
I know. I thought Rattler's had a really good year. And I like to say, if the weather's going to play like that, they're not going to be able to do anything. I do think Rattler's kind of like established himself
He's trending
as a
up.
solid quarterback. And I like Rattler this year.
Definitely not Tyler Shaw.
Yeah, I know. God, but the Bears should handle this. It's at home. Let's just hope they don't have a little hangover from the Skins win.
Facts.
So
Back years.
it would be the most Bears thing to do here, though. So
It would be. It would be. Back-to-back times they played the Redskins. They win in the last second. The Dolphins are heading to Cleveland to play the Browns. Just not. Oh, the producer has the Browns.
Yeah.
I've got the Dolphins. I'm just not bought in on Gabriel. Don't think they have enough weapons to overcome that. Defense is elite. However, I think Achane has really shown as a star in Miami, and they've kept them scoring a lot of points. They've lost a lot of close games this year. Tua hadn't looked horrible. I think this is going to be a very sloppy game, but I think Miami finds a way to win it on the ground with Achane. Luke, you went with the Browns.
I went with the Browns simply because home team and defense. I think Tua is going to make way too many mistakes. And also, I saw a report that Tua, along with multiple other players, have been missing player-only meetings. So I think the culture's just done. McDaniel's done after the year. But I think the Browns' defense is literally going to be the only reason they're in this game. I think it's like a 17-13 game or something, like something ugly. And I think if you're going to make it ugly, the Browns are going to win.
Fair enough. We all have the Patriots, Titans, and we all have the Chiefs against the Raiders, and we all have the Panthers against the Jets, and we all have the Broncos against the Giants.
I want to speak on this Panther game, though. This scares me.
I flip-flopped.
Every time we go with the Panthers, they absolutely hoe us. And then I want to say with the Bronco game, this also kind of like worries me because it's Demaryius Thomas's retirement and the whole Super Bowl 50 team will be there. But the Giants just beat the Eagles. So, like, I get they lost to the Broncos, but you never know what you're going to get. You're going to get the Saints
Yeah.
Giants or the Eagles Giants. So
At home.
this
I
is
think
a
the Giants play well at home, and I think it's about it.
This is a little worrisome though.
I think the Giants traveling mile won't have enough. I mean, the Jets game scares me, but
Yeah.
we've got the Panthers. I think the Panthers looked good last week. I think Dowdle's been exceptional at running back, which sucks. But I can't hate though because I like Javonte Williams in our
but
backfield.
the two-headed monster, Javante and Dowell.
Yeah, we could have paid him so little and kept him.
He's making $1 million in Carolina right now.
We could have paid him so little and kept him. Damn it, Jared. The Colts are heading to LA and playing the Chargers. The producer has the Chargers. Me and Luke have the Colts. Dude, Danny Dimes has just been too much. Defense looks good. The Colts are all around looking like a Super Bowl contending team. That Chargers team is so banged up. Offensive line has so many holes in it. I do like their running back. Played with them, but give me the Colts.
Yeah, that's injuries is going to hold back this Chargers team and any elite team they play. And I think this Colts D line is good. I think they're going to make the difference because of that offensive line being super banged up.
So banged up.
I mean, I love Herbert. Don't get me wrong. I think I like the quarterback matchup. I'd give it to Herbert personally, even though Danny Dimes has been great. But I just think that offensive line, Herbert can't run around forever. So
the Commanders are heading to Dallas and playing the Cowboys. We've all got the Cowboys.
for obvious
Shocker. I actually analytically think I have the Cowboys in this one. Yeah, our defense hasn't been good, but the Commanders' offense has not been good by any means. And if they are good, they're all good on the ground. And we are good against the run.
surprisingly.
Yes, we are good against the run. Our offense can score like that, and the Commanders don't have a great defense. Really like the Cowboys at home bounce back spot. Here's the thing: we win this game, we are right in the thick of it. If Minnesota pulls it off against Philly, we're right in the thick of it. In the
Gonna
NFC
get weird.
East. Yeah, and we're back to the NFC least, baby.
But no, Deebo Samuel's also questionable. He might play. I think he's going to end up probably being game time. And Deebo has actually been more productive than Terry has this year.
Oh, dude, Terry McLaurin has been a ghost ever since he got paid.
I know. And classic move. We're going to get the bag and not do
Disappear.
But yeah, I like us in this spot. I think Pickens will explode again this week. And I think Lamb is on the verge of coming back.
I think so
He
too.
started practice, and if he can somehow play this week, we should murder them.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be close. This game worries me
It's also worries
a lot. I almost picked the Cardinals. Green Bay is heading to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Dude, Jacoby looked good at quarterback for Arizona. Don't know if they move on from Kyler Murray with elder backup like that, but the Cardinals have been like sneakily there in all the games. But just that Titans loss has lost any trust I have in picking them. I do not think this Green Bay Packers team is elite by any means, but I'm going to go with the Packers on the road. So does the producer.
Yeah, no, this Cardinal team, it's kind of like the opposite of the Panthers, where they're up big, or like they're up or in most of their games. They just find a way to lose, like where the Panthers will blow someone out and get blown out.
Yeah.
But this Cardinals team is weird, and the Packers, like they lost to the Browns. So, like, I totally see them dropping this game, but they just have to feed Josh Jacobs.
Have
He
to.
will carry them to the end of this game. So,
The Falcons are heading to San Francisco to play the 49ers. The producer has the Niners. I loved what I saw with the Falcons against the Bills on Monday night. I think they've really found something with Bijan Robinson, Drake London. Hell, they've got Kyle Pitts involved on the offense. Michael Penix looks good for Atlanta. This is a sneaky wild card team. I like Atlanta to go on the road and get this win. Why do you like Atlanta?
just based off what I saw on Monday night, I mean, you're going to beat the Bills, who are supposed to be one of the top tier AFC teams. I mean, that's impressing me. And I think Niners – now, I think Jones is questionable and also Purdy is questionable, so not really knowing who's going to play quarterback.
Both quarterbacks are banged up nonetheless.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd have a little more – if Purdy came in, I'd have a little more faith than Jones, but I just don't think this Niners team is very good. And Fred Warner also getting carted off last week.
Yeah, that was a huge loss.
So that's your defensive captain, and I think that will hurt them on defense this week. And I like them to go out to Santa Clara, get the dub.
I think we went across the board lines here.
I flipped.
I did too. This is worth talking about, though. I love this Bucs team. I think they're elite. I think they're a great team, and I think they could win this game. the way Detroit lost against Kansas City last week, kind of, shady, of course. That's coming on later on Hot and Not. This is a Lions team, even though without – the only reason I really flip-flop was Branch being suspended. They're without Branch, so it makes me a little bit worried in the secondary. But I do like this Lions team to get their bounce back. I don't think they're going to lose back-to-back weeks, and that's kind of what my deterrent was from Buccaneers in this pick. Give me Detroit at home. Why do you like Detroit?
Kind of the same thing. I don't think Detroit loses back-to-back, and I get Branches out, but I think Mbuka's going to be out. So
that's a huge loss for Tampa Bay. You can't have Mbuka out.
Yeah, so they literally have like Pez Johnson and a Sterling Shepard and a third dude. I have no idea who it is. So the receiving core is completely depleted. I do think Baker will will this team to like a 3-point loss or something, but
he's so good.
I want to pick the Bucs so bad, but I just don't see the Lions losing twice in a row.
Yeah, me neither.
So that's why I want the Lions.
Our final game at 9 p.m. Central Time on Monday night. Will not be watching.
Wait, what?
Yes. The Houston Texans head to Seattle and play the Seahawks.
That's real?
Yes. We are across the board on Seattle. Yeah, no one's staying up for that. Yeah, it's Seattle across the board. The Seattle teams look great. The Houston team, just so many holes on the offensive line. Don't know if they'll be able to withhold this Seattle defense, and I think Seattle can score at will against Houston.
And I think that defensive line will literally kill C.J. Stroud. I think Leonard Williams is going to bend him over this week.
Give me a DeMarcus Lawrence sack.
That would be elite for the fandom. But also, this should be on the 9. Why is this game at 9 o'clock?
I mean, it is West Coast, but
you're the game at 9 o'clock on the West Coast still.
It is so late. It is so late. I have to work the next day.
To work watching that crap?
Yeah, no. I'll be tuned in for Lions Bucks. That's it.
That's frustrating.
It is. NFL best bets for week 7. Dude, I love the Pats. -6.5 against the Titans. I think that's a whale play. Love the Cowboys on the plus side of the money line against the Commanders. You get some value with this pick. I really do think the Cowboys will win this football game. Colts, also on the plus side of the money line, heading to L.A., playing the Chargers. Another value pick. Nice little Cowboys-Colts parlay. Pay out well. Like I said, it's going to be rating at 50. I love the under in this Saints-Bears game at 47.5. 47.5, kind of a higher total. Love the under here. Not like these offenses are elite, guys. Not like their defense are elite, but not like their offense is elite, especially with the rain, like the under. And give me the Seahawks -3.5 at home against the Texans. Love the Seahawks offense. Think they're going to do well against Houston's defense, as well as Seattle's defensive front will get to C.J. Stroud.
So I've done a little bit different with my picks this week. I've gone things I love, things are good value, and then my absolute shot in the dark. So I like the Seahawks. Well, I guess it's -3.5 now. When I looked at it, it was -3. I like the Panthers. If you're going to win, you're generally going to win by more than 2 points. So, I mean, I like the Panthers by 1.5. And like you said, I think the Colts, I think that D-line eats this week. And Dowdle has been on a tear.
He's been on a tear.
And I think the Jets' defense is all right. I don't think it's as elite as the Robert Saleh defense, but I think Dowdle can easily score. Even though I think Chuba Hubbard's going to come back, but I think he's going to take a backseat role just because of how dominant Dowdle's been. Then my shot in the dark, Giants money line. I think that it's just I would either take them or the Cardinals at the money line. It's like a shot in the dark, just a slight chance because you don't know what Giants team you're going to get. So maybe it's just a little shot in the dark. Maybe I like it.
On it. I like it. Our best bets for the NFL Week 7, I've got the Pats -6.5 against the Titans. Cowboys money line at +105, hosting the Commanders. Colts money line +110 at the LA Chargers. The under at 47.5 for the Saints and Bears. And the Seattle Seahawks -3.5, hosting the Houston Texans at a terribly late Monday Night Football game. Won't even see that bet out. I'll be going to bed. Luke, your bets.
I got the Seahawks, which is now -3.5. I got the Panthers, which is -1.5. I got Colts money line, Rico Dowdle anytime touchdown, and a weird Giants money line play.
Love it. Love it. Our waiver wire must-haves for Week 7. So I saw you went with your throwback pick. My throwback pick. My pickup is running back Kamani Vidal, who has been 69% rostered across Yahoo, which is up 34% in the last 24 hours. 22.8 points last week. He was named the running back 1 for the LA Chargers. He was a dog for us at Troy, an absolute animal. My girlfriend's dad up in Canada, his favorite collegiate football player of all time is Kamani Vidal. He is a huge Kamani Vidal fan, and so am I. So I already picked him up, actually, and he'll be starting over RJ Harvey. Love Kamani Vidal this week as my waiver wire pickup. Luke, and just for those who are just listening, Luke has that Aaron Rodgers picture where his chin strap is on his nose, the helmet's, his mouth's open. Like, it's perked out Rodgers. But tell me about it.
This Steelers offense has been looking better and better every week, and I think they're playing a very weak Bengals defense. And if you need to rent a quarterback, like your quarterback's on a bye, and maybe your backup doesn't have the most favorable matchup, I kind of like Rodgers. He's been, like I said, trending upward. And I think he had 17.5 points last week against a good Browns defense.
Yeah, the Browns are elite
defense. So I think he can score way more than that, and I think he's going to have a good week this week.
Well,
I don't think I've gotten a single pick right, except there.
Well, I had the Mariners in the World Series. The MLB playoffs. We're in the championship series, the ALCS and the NLCS. We'll start with the ALCS. The Seattle Mariners and Big Dumper lead the Toronto Blue Jays, our brethren from up north, 2-0. They are playing right now, as I'll check in on it, actually. Wow. Okay. The Blue Jays are up 6-2 in the bottom of the fourth in their first road game. Let's just say Toronto wins that, and it's 2-1. I think Seattle's got too much offensively and at the pitching. I think Toronto's kind of used up their weapons that they can use for their pitching staff. I think the run is done. I don't think they're deep enough. They were battling the injuries anyway. We said that at the beginning of the playoffs. Give me Seattle in 6. I'll let it go 6.
I think the only reason that Toronto could win this series is Vladdy is going to literally have to go stupid. He's going to have to hit 4 for 5, 5 for 5. Like, he's going to have to go stupid for the rest of the series. And I just do not see that happening. I think he'll play great. I don't see it happening. I think I'm going to go Seattle. I think this is just super weird if they win this game on the road because they could easily win it again. But I'm going to go Seattle in 5. I think they can bounce back at home. Give the Seattle faithful a home playoff victory.
Nice. Wait. Yeah, it's in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, yeah.
Yeah. The NLCS. The Brewers are down 2-0 to the Dodgers. Now, I read something that this is the most important playoff series in the history of baseball.
Okay.
Because if the Dodgers win, they think they will implement a salary cap.
Yeah, that completely checks out because, I mean, like, it is pretty stupid that you can have Yamamoto, who went 9 innings last night, and you still have Snell. You still have Kershaw, who's been very good in his last year. You have Ohtani. I mean, you have on the offense, you have Betts, Ohtani, and Freeman. That is stupid. I don't think they'll do a salary cap. I think they might. I don't know what they do. Their best bet would be no salary cap, but you can't have, say, like 4 players over this amount of money. Because, like, just, I don't know. They're never going to implement a salary cap. Owners, they have no salary because it forces them to have money.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
That's the only reason I think it's not there.
I mean, this all hinders on what Milwaukee does in LA. I'm gonna go Dodgers in 5.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 6. I'm just gonna have some faith. I think they have 2 really weird games, and the Brewers can snag 2. But I think
the Brewers have looked okay.
Yeah, but I just think ultimately the Dodgers are just too much. I mean, also last night, the Brewers could have tied that game up with Yamamoto in because the dude got out of the way.
Take the hit.
Take the hit. I mean, like, it's coming right at your dick. I don't care. Just take it.
If it was coming at his knee, that would have hurt like a bitch. But take the base, dude. Tie the game up. Don't dodge it. UFC Fight Night. Vancouver picks a preview. Again, kind of a weaker slate this week. But, of course, as always, we've got some picks for you. Luke, I'm going to let you start us off. you? Just go from bottom to top. Nelson versus Frivola, kicking us off.
So I've got Frivola. Now, for once, I actually got my picks in before you, so I got to not have the bias of Will Spain because again, kind of starting to get into it. I'm not a big UFC fan. I'll watch all the main pay-per-views, but when I was looking at this, I mean, I saw the percentage defense. Frivola absorbed a lot less shots than Nelson. I think that'll just be because the significant strikes are basically even, but that's absorption rate is 1 strike per minute more, and I think that'll ultimately land Nelson to lose this fight.
I like Nelson in this fight. I'm going to tell you why. It's in Canada. You're kicking up the main card. I think the Canadian wins. Get some momentum going. I do like Nelson by decision, 2-1. I think Frivola is going to come out, probably win the first round, touching up Nelson. But I don't think Frivola is going to be able to take Nelson to the ground like he's going to want to. Frivola averages 2.39 takedowns per fight. So he likes to go to the ground. But Nelson's got 73% takedown defense. I think this fight stays on, the feet. And then I know Nelson statistically has absorbed more strikes per minute. However, defense is relatively similar. Landed per minute is relatively similar. I think he's going to come out aggressive because he's at home in Canada, and he's going to get the decision win. Our next fight, and I apologize when I inevitably butcher this name. Cody Gibson, fighting out of the United States, is fighting, singular name, Oriquelang. From China. Oriquelang, sitting at 25-11, coming off a loss. Gibson, 22-11, coming off a loss. Luke, who do you like in this fight?
So I like Gibson. I mean, I was looking at their striking, and Gibson doesn't land as many shots, but his defense on the feet is a lot better. But I was mainly looking at the grappling. I think it's going to be on the ground, and I think Gibson is just a better grappler than I'm not going to try and say his name, but this guy. So
fair enough. I like Gibson here by sub. I'm going to go by sub. I was tempted to go by decision. I think Oriquelang's inability to – I know I'm probably butchering this name. His inability to stop takedowns from Gibson's going to tire him out. It's going to end up fatiguing him trying to get out of the clinch. And I think Gibson's going to be able to sink a sub in. He does average 0.6 submissions per 15 minutes. So he averages about a submission every other fight. So give me Gibson by sub for a little bit of an exciting fight night action. Fight night's usually a little more, explosive in terms of finishes. So I like Gibson by sub. Our next fight is a very highly touted women's flyweight bout. Manon Farrow, number 2 ranked in the division, versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. Sorry if I butchered that. Jasudavicius.
that was pretty good. I
Thank
can't
you.
lie.
Number 5 out of Canada. Farrow 12-2, Jasudavicius 14-3. Same height. Jasmine with a 3-inch reach advantage. Luke, who do you got in this fight?
I got Farrow, and simply because their stats kind of look pretty even. I mean, her takedown defense isn't as good, and I think Jasmine is going to probably try and take her down a little bit, but I'm mainly looking at the strikes landed per minute. It's a woman fight. I'm not trying to be sexist, but I think if you're going to get hit more, you're going to fall. I don't think the power's there, but I think she's going to just wear on her over time.
So I'm going to counter you here. I've watched a lot of UFC, and I know the women throw bangers.
Okay.
There's a lot of finishes in women's fight. Farrow's going to knock her out. She has 50% of her wins by knockout, none of them by sub, 50 by decision. So it's either going to be a knockout or a decision win for Farrow. Give me knockout simply because, dude, if you're going to absorb 3.63 shots per minute while she's throwing at a 4.73% clip, she's throwing at 53%, you're only defending at 51%, she's going to get caught. I think she's going to try to go to a ground. I don't think she'll be able to. She's going to get frustrated. She's going to push forward. She's going to get caught by Farrow. In UFC, you have the hammer and the nail. You have the hammer who's trying to be aggressive and push. You get the nail who's able to take the shots and counter. I think the hammer is definitely going to be Jasmine in this fight. I think Farrow is going to do well as the nail, counter, keep this fight on the feet. And I think it's going to be a vicious knockout. I think it's going to be probably it's going to be a punch. It'll be like a right hook, uppercut.
We're calling shots now?
Knockout for Farrow against Jetson Vicious. I'm excited for this fight, and I don't think you know, but Marlon Cheeto Vera, who just 8 shots in a title fight in this bantamweight bout against Ayman Zahabi of Canada. Number 7 versus number 9. 23, 10, and 1 for Vera. 13 and 2 against Zahabi, who's coming off a win. Vera coming off a loss. This is obviously a fight set up as Vera has 2-inch reach advantage on both leg and arm. This fight is set up for Zahabi to move up in the ranks at home in Canada. It's not going to happen. I'll let you go first. Who's winning this fight?
I got Zahabi simply because I think his defense is a lot better and he still strikes at a good enough clip. And I'm finally going to pick Canadian here. So I think the Canadian does get it done.
Let me tell you what. Marlon Vera, yes, he absorbs a lot of shots per minute. He is a tank. He has an iron chin. He will not get knocked out. He will knock out, and I'm calling it by knockout against Ayman Zahabi. Marlon Vera is a dog, okay? And he is going to be able to eat every shot Zahabi throws at him. I think he may try to take this to the ground, but Zahabi's got pretty good defense. I think Marlon Vera is able to withhold these shots. He's going to be, again, the nail in this fight, not the hammer. Throws a counter. You know, it's been the year of the spinning elbow. Spinning elbow knockout by Vera. And just so we can clip this, Marlon Vera by knockout, round 2.
Right.
Round 2.
Sweet.
Our co-main, our feature bout, is number 15, Kevin Holland. Hilarious, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen any Kevin Holland clips. He just talks the entire time. You saw the last Holland fight. It's hilarious. He did lose last time out.
Yes.
He is fighting Canadian powerhouse Mike Mallet. 12-2-1 for Mallet. I'm still going with Mallet. That's the French pronunciation. We're in Canada. And Holland 28-14. Dude, this dude fights.
I know.
Holland with a 2-inch height advantage. And what scares me here is the 8-inch reach advantage for Holland. Yeah. Who do you got in this fight?
I got Holland. I didn't look at any stats. I just love this man. So
look, my heart says Holland here. My brain says Malot. Malot averages about half a strike less absorbed per minute. They throw about the same clip. I do think this fight absolutely goes to the ground. He averages 2 takedowns per minute, pretty high on his submissions. He wins 50% of his fights by sub. I'm going to go Mike Malot in the second round by sub. If I get the round wrong, I'm sorry. But just take Mike Malot by submission against Kevin Holland. And now our main event. Reiner de Ridder, RDR, out of the Netherlands. Number 4 in the middleweight. Fighting Brendan Allen, number 9 of Canada in our main event. RDR sitting at 21-2. Coming off a win, 6-4. Allen, 25-7, coming off a win, 6-2. So 2-inch height advantage for RDR. He has a 3-inch reach advantage, but a 1-inch leg reach advantage for Allen. Look, I'll let you start.
So I've got Allen. I think I am right about this. I think this is all on the ground, and I personally just like the takedown accuracy. I know he's got the better defense de Ridder has, but I think, like last week, we have the hometown kid or like the home country kid get the job done in the main event. And I went with Oliveira, and I think the same kind of thing happens here. The Canadian wins to end off the night. I've got Allen.
Yeah, look, dude, I'm excited about RDR. 21-2. He's going to win this by submission in the third round. He's going to piece him up, be able to get him to the ground. He has decent striking. Lands his 6 strikes at about 52% clip. Allen absorbs almost 4 strikes per minute. He's going to get pieced up and get taken to the ground. Reiner de Ridder, rear naked choke, submission in the third round. And that concludes our picks and preview for UFC Fight Night in Vancouver. Hockey is back again. We are going to give our hockey preview on Sunday. I wanted Luke to get some time to, scoreboard watch and notice, who's good and who's bad before he gave his predictions. Do not respond to this. Ignore our little heads here. That was just for us to copy and paste.
Hey, yo. I was a little bit of every game, but I really didn't do a good job. I still don't know what I'm picking.
That's fine. The Florida Panthers are heading to Buffalo. Buffalo sucks. We both got the Panthers. The New York Islanders are heading to Ottawa. I went with New York here. I think Ottawa's a little banged up, so I'm going to go with New York. Luke went with Ottawa. Of course, we went with the Oilers on the road against the New Jersey Devils. The New York Rangers are heading to Montreal this is all on Saturday, by the way. New York Rangers are heading to Montreal. We both with the Canadians. They've looked elite. Montembeau looks good in net.
And haven't the Rangers looked kind of poor?
Oh, they've looked poor.
So, okay, yeah. I still hold a grudge from that first night where I had every leg of my parlay, and they sold. So, screw the Rangers.
Screw the Rangers. I hate them. We both with the Preds, obviously. They'll probably lose this game.
But a lot, though.
We score at a high clip.
Yeah,
the Preds look good.
The goalie is terrible.
That was the backup. Yeah. Yusuf Ananen, you suck. I'm flip-flopped on this game. The Kraken are heading to Toronto. I'm going to give Toronto the edge, as you did, as the home team.
Yeah.
The Kraken have looked really good, though. The Wild. You went with the Wild? Probably the smarter pick. I'm going to go with the home team again here on a Saturday night. I like the Philadelphia Flyers at home. Just a team that can win a game like this. We both like the Lightning against the Blue Jackets. Dallas heading to St. Louis. We both went with St. Louis here. Dallas currently undefeated. I think they're going to lose a game, and I think this is probably going to be it.
I just went with them because of the Cardinals. So
yeah, there you go.
I mean,
go Blues. Not really. I hate the Blues. The Bruins are heading to Colorado to play the Avalanche. We both with the Avs. Luke went with the Carolina Hurricanes, who are heading to the LA Kings. The Kings have looked kind of poor, but the Hurricanes have looked good. But I'm going to go with the Kings here at home.
Weird little.
Yeah, weird. Yeah. I mean, it's hockey. It's kind of like baseball. It's going to happen. The Flames are heading to Vegas to play the Golden Knights. The Flames looked awful other than the opening game overtime win against the Oilers that Stuart Skinner sold. Going with the Vegas Golden Knights here. Penguins heading to the Sharks. Pens have looked better. The Sharks have looked better. Sharks at home. I'm going to take the Sharks. Luke took the Pens.
Also, I like both of these logos. Pretty solid logo matchup, too. I mean,
it is. Dude, San Jose's uniforms are elite. The Canucks of Vancouver are heading to Washington. Oh, this is on Sunday now. The Canucks of Vancouver are heading to Washington to play the Capitals. DC, of course. We both like the Caps. We both like the Oilers again. Go Oilers. It's the Oiler pod. They're heading to Detroit to play the Red Wings. Both on the Oilers. We're split again. I think this Ducks team is young. Well, its core has a decent goaltending. Like the Ducks. Just said the Canucks. Like the Ducks on the road against Chicago. I just don't think Chicago's there yet. Luke went with the Blackhawks.
Team. That's really it. So
and the Bruins are heading to Utah on a back-to-back, just like the Oilers were on a back-to-back. But we went with the Oilers twice. I said the Bruins are losing twice. I think this Utah team has looked good, so I'm going to go with the Mammoth at home. And you went with the Bruins.
I do have a question. Didn't the Preds beat?
Yeah, they did. I think it looked solid this year.
Okay. So
solid.
I was making sure I got my teams right.
Yeah. It was the first ever Ice Age matchup. You know, the Saber. Yeah. It's the first ever Ice Age matchup there.
I'm still learning.
Yes, you are. All right. It's time for Hot and Not. As every Wednesday, we give you something that we think is good in the world in our lives and something that is not. My hot, as me and my father concluded our now tradition of watching and winning bets on Dana White's Contender Series. The last episode was last night. Let me tell you what's hot is spinning elbows. We had another nasty spinning elbow knockout last night all over SportsCenter. Dana White said it should be the number one play on the top 10. I agree. Dude, spinning elbow. It has been a year for spinning elbows in the UFC. It has created some awesome Instagram reels of dudes just getting slept out of nowhere by spinning elbows. The spinning elbow is in MMA, and it is hot for me. My not, thanks to UTEP and their study, is NFL officiating. So, if y'all don't know, UTEP did a study, and they have concluded from the years, I believe it was 2015 to 2023, it is statistically proven that the Kansas City Chiefs have been receiving favorable officiating from the NFL. One of the most marketable franchises, one of the most marketable players, Taylor Swift. Guys, we are getting hoed by the NFL.
And I saw another thing. The Chiefs are more or I think it's 30 to 35% more likely to get a roughing the passer call than any other team in the NFL.
This doesn't happen. This isn't all coincidence, guys. An 8-year study, and this is the 8 years they ascended to the top of the league. This isn't coincidence. I don't care what y'all say. The NFL is favoring the Kansas City Chiefs just like they did with the New England Patriots during their dynasty. Yeah. They have to have a marketable franchise, they think, to kind of sort of lead the league. I'm tired of it. Roger Goodell needs to be called out. Mm-hmm. We need a coup at commissioner. We need an overhaul of the NFL. It is unfair, and it is hurting my Dallas Cowboys, damn it.
And I want to touch on that a little more. Taunting. The NFL's made a huge deal out of taunting this year. Patrick Mahomes, rushing touchdown. Branch pulls up. They kind of bump, whatever. Patrick Mahomes, 1 flag, spins the ball at his feet. 2 flag, points at Branch. 3 flag, dusts Branch off. 4 flag, flexes. I want to keep in mind, Puka Nacua caught a first down this week. Flexed, got flagged. I think it was a Colts player, I can't remember who it was, who spun the ball at someone's feet, got flagged. So why is Patrick Mahomes not getting flagged?
He's immune.
That is taunting. I'm not like a Lions lover. Obviously, I like the Lions, but I'm not a Lions fan, super fan. But that's a flag. If you're gonna call it, be consistent.
You have to be consistent. It's making me lose faith in the product.
It's stupid.
I'm not gonna stop watching. I love the Cowboys, and the Vikings. But it's making me lose faith in the product. Mm-hmm. And you can't be doing this with legalized sports gambling at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, you are literally screwing people out of money, which is not cool, dude. F you, Roger Goodell. Luke, you're hot and not.
Would you like me to reenact Section 231?
Sure.
Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah, this is elite.
They suck. But they were doing this, waving their shirts all day long.
Yeah, so I saw this. Yeah, talk to them.
It started with a bet between 2 brothers. It was $10 to get a shirt waving contest going, and they got it going. And the whole section was filled, and they got a flag up there. Oklahoma State sucks, but their fans
are elite.
Yeah,
they're elite.
That's awesome. I mean, that was great. And then by not another little
about this.
Went on the Pat McAfee show, I believe. And then I saw someone else go on I think it was Taylor Lewan's podcast. The PFF, J.J. Watt was their number 1 rated player forever. And they literally told J.J. Watt, we have to change the rules so you're not number 1 anymore. Basically, he's saying the grades for PFF are stupid. Because, Tyler Smith, who's a great guard, will literally be 10th best guard in the NFL, which we know is not true. He's been all pro last year. And the PFF grade system is done by, the AP poll, a bunch of random people.
Yeah, I heard him say something about an
right. Yeah. Rated these people before he actually watched the game. And again, I kind of agree with the statement. I don't know if he said it or if it was someone else, but you can't rate games and grade people
just watching TV.
Yes, you have to know the system, the scheme, and his job, because his job might be to close the edge, and maybe the linebacker has the quarterback in the read option, but the average casual viewer will see him going for the running back and not the quarterback, and will just think, oh, he sucks, he should have made that tackle. So the PFF grade, it's stupid. Like he said,
throw it out the window now.
It's got a bunch of great tools, but on NBC, you're broadcasting this, and say your casual viewer is seeing let's say just CeeDee Lamb, who will be probably super low in the PFF if he qualifies because he hasn't played. Oh, he sucks. But it just makes no sense to have that grade and to be broadcasting it
that. 100%. So, the PFF is absolutely not an absolute not.
Yeah.
And that concludes episode 14 of Swiss Army Sports. Tune in when we release our episode on Sunday, breaking down what happened in college football and NFL across the week as Luke spins his towel into the weekend. I am your host, Will Spain, joined by Luke Wallman. The producer of this show is Michael Spain, the local frat boy of Mississippi State. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching Swiss Army Sports.